Hey, welcome back to a brand new video. And if you don't know, I've made a few videos on Kero the Wolf in the past. So if you want to catch up on everything that you've missed, go watch those videos as they're very informative and they basically give a response to everything he's said since returning to YouTube, clarifying on everything he's done and calling him out on his behavior in what I think is a very important video for a lot of people to watch. However, for obvious reasons, I couldn't go into everything in those videos because they would literally take hours to get any of those points across. However, there is a very incredible series that I will recommend to you. It's very graphic and trigger warnings for like everything in there, literally everything imaginable, so be aware of that. But that series is incredible, and if you want to find out everything that Kero and his friends have done, go watch it. It's important, it's informative, and it will help you catch up with the situation very, very, very easily. Okay, and just before we begin, if you're new to the channel, or haven't already, for some reason, could you just please go down below and click the like button, click the subscribe button, and turn on notifications. All of that support helps me a lot and it motivates me to keep making these videos every single day going over these topics, because they really aren't easy to produce, obviously. Also, that support means that I can help reach my goal of 25k by the end of the year, and it also means that I can justify making content on whatever I want without having to worry about if those videos will do well. In addition to that, I also have some other social media in the description, so if you want to go check out those platforms and support me on all of those, that would mean a lot too, and maybe you'll get to know me a little better. Finally, if you want to help fund these videos and fund me getting editors so I don't have to waste my whole life making these videos, I'm joking, I don't worry. But having an editor would help more than I could explain, so if you want to go down below and join the channel or check out my Patreon or Ko-fi, that support would be insane, and I would appreciate it a lot. With that out of the way though, let's get right back into the video, and I'd like to go over exactly what's happened since we left off in my last video. And where we left off was with Kero quitting YouTube, saying he was done and that there'd be no more videos, and that we wouldn't see him again, and that he only came back before as an experiment, and he wanted to prove that he could hit 200k again, and all of this shit, right, basically. However, I predicted that none of that would be true, and that he would probably return again. I was right. Kero the Wolf has returned to YouTube, again making more videos about the furry community, even though nobody in that community wants him, and continuing to try and justify his behavior. With his newest video, where it's basically a skit video, where he talks about people becoming a furry. And the video isn't harmful in any way, although he is. However, he shouldn't be able to post on this platform. For the record, Onision lost his ads for orbiting. Now, you can Google that term yourself. However, Kero the Wolf has illicitly involved himself with animals, multiple of them. And whether they're an animal or not, that doesn't justify how wrong this is and how this shouldn't be accepted on the platform. If Kero is to continue uploading here, I believe that YouTube should take away his ads, and he shouldn't be able to link other platforms like Patreon so that he can continue to make profit. Speaking on Patreon, for some reason this guy still has 29 Patreons. He's still making enough profit to go by without any issue while continuing to make content. In fact, some of his Patrons are actually funding these videos, like he recognizes in the description. That is bad. The fact that he's able to continue to fund these videos, continue to make them without any backlash, and continue to just somehow survive on this platform despite all of his wrongdoing, despite how much he's tried to cover it up, and despite how guilty he is with all the proof from all of his accounts, somehow he's able to stay on this platform without any issue. All he has to do is turn off the dislikes visibility on his channel and disable the comments, and this dude can roam free, continuing to make whatever videos he wants, continuing to stay a harm to animals, and continuing to go ignored. In my opinion, this dude should be in a cage. No one like this should be allowed to be on a platform like YouTube, especially when they advocate for such dangerous things. All this guy is cultivating as an audience is a bunch of people just as disgusting as him, and that shouldn't be tolerated on this platform. All that causes is more danger for more animals, especially when platforms like YouTube don't take a heavy stance against it. What Kero did is more than just morally bankrupt, it's unjustifiable and should be considered illegal everywhere, even though it for some reason isn't. And people for some reason are slowly diminishing any effort to call him out on this. Slowly, he's just being more and more accepted in the community. This didn't happen with Onision, why is it happening with Kero? people should continue to bring up every time he tries to return until he doesn't. He said he wouldn't return, and yet for some reason he's back on this platform acting like nothing ever happened, trying to get away with what he did just because the police for some reason couldn't arrest him and couldn't put him behind bars. To be insightful and to make this video less of just a, oh I can't stand this, wow this is so bad video, I want to actually recommend some sources of information against this, so that we can call out this and correctly report it to the authorities, and also so that this situation and other situations can be looked under in a very clear microscope where everyone understands what the issues are and all the proof against Kero. Firstly, I'd like to recommend the 2-part mini-documentary, Don't Mess With Dogs, by Cecil McFly. This series provided me most of the information I needed to call out Kero, and is overall a brilliant watch if you'd like to look deeper in this situation. I'd also recommend Lazy Bedhead's 56-minute video on this. It's a very informative watch as well, and it also goes more in depth on other people's opinions and discussions on this whole situation in general. I'd also like to reference lawyers.com on their information about the legality of this behaviour. From their website reads the following: "It's illegal in Pennsylvania to mistreat, neglect or abandon animals." And while I'm not sure this necessarily completely pertains to the topic, I'd like to also quote animallaw.info on their claim that it is a misdemeanor of the 2nd degree to sexually abuse an animal. With that information in mind, I believe that Kero the Wolf could definitely be arrested for multiple years if the police did their due research to look into Kero's behaviour and to charge him for it. Sadly though, these crimes were committed so long ago that I believe it would be almost impossible to 100% prove that Kero did all of this. Even though there's images out there, even though there's more than enough sources that should prove it, sadly a lot of the time the law genuinely doesn't act on it. However, if you would like to still report this, you can report it to the cyber tips. Even though the police looked into this situation before, I believe if the cyber police have provided enough information, Kero could possibly be looked into again and potentially in the future charged for these crimes, which would be great for everyone, as this type of behaviour goes completely unaccepted, and for some reason most people don't recognise it. For some reason, people blow up these stupid stories about Gabby Hanna for no reason other than, oh look at the person, let's laugh, but not the serious situations like this one. For that reason, I'm doing my best and I'm doing my part to bring attention to all of this. And with that out of the way, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I make videos every single day on various different topics, and I'm sure if this one piqued your interest, many others also will. Finally, I'd like to recommend one of my own videos, that video being my video talking about the newest anime, Konosuba but with guns, which is Combatants Will Be Dispatched. It's a video I put a hell of a lot of work into, and the fact that it's gone so ignored has genuinely hurt quite a bit. So if you want to go watch that one and support it, that support would mean more than I could probably explain. With that out of the way, as I mentioned, if you'd like to support the channel and help me hit my next milestone of 25k, you can go down below and you can click the subscribe button. Also, feel free to turn on notifications for this video, as it means that you'll be updated and notified every time I post another video. Click that to all so that it tells you every time I upload, without a doubt. And also, feel free to check out my other social media down below. Feel free to click the join button or check out my Patreon and Ko-fi to support me financially. And with all of that out of the way, I will see you in the next video. I'm sorry to make so many videos that are this dark and serious. I know that these situations aren't fun to talk about, and I want to make more fun videos. Sadly, I do have to speak about a lot of these things because they genuinely upset me, and they get on my nerves to the point where I feel like I actually have to talk about them for the sake of bringing attention to them and making sure that animals and people alike get the justice they are owed against the abusers that took advantage of them. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Said she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Said she wanna rock with it like me.